survive and thrive in today's economy. And the thing that surprises me, that amazes me in business today, is that so many people, we all know the definition of insanity, right? Mm-hmm. We're doing the same thing we've always done, and we're expecting different results. And it simply won't work in this economy. So you have to jumpstart, you have to rethink. So I'm going to give you some ideas to think about. But basically there's three options that all customers have. One is they can buy your product, okay? They can buy the same product you sell from a competitor, or they can choose not to buy anything at all. A lot of people are doing that. So you have to make sure that they're going to buy, that they buy from you. One of the things that, and I'll give all of you my business card before the day's over today, but I want you to go to my website. There's a recommended reading page, and there's some wonderful books here you can buy from Amazon. There's some audios you can listen to, but more importantly, you need to be reading. You need to be challenging yourself. There's a book on there called The Ultimate Selling Machine by Chet Holmes. And he talks about a lot of things that we've already talked about, some of the things that Laura talked about today. But one of the things he says in his book is you have to have, and I'm not going to say it exactly, pig-headed determination, pig-headed discipline. And that's really what we have to do. And discipline is simply doing what you have to do, whether you want to do it or not. Mm-hmm. Brian Tracy says that the way we are successful is we are willing to do the things that unsuccessful people won't do. Right. And discipline is so key to that. Without that, we can't have anything. In fact, there was a book written several years ago by Tom Stanley. He's the guy that wrote The Millionaire Next Door. And he says there's 4 characteristics in the second book he wrote. It's entitled The Millionaire Mind. He interviewed 1,400 millionaires, and there's 4 things he said was common for all of them. One was good interpersonal skills. So if you don't have those, that's a good thing to develop. All of us are in business to talk to people and build relationships and that sort of thing. That's number 1. Number 2 was self-discipline. If you don't have self-discipline, you will not succeed. The third thing, and I think it's the most important one, is integrity. And if you read on in the book, he says that one of the things he'll find is most of the millionaires, the 1,400, on Sunday morning were in church. And that gave courage. So we have to have courage, we have to have self-discipline, we have to have integrity and good interpersonal skills. I'm still working on the interpersonal skills, by the way. James Allen said, in a quote I saw recently, he said, men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. Therefore, they remain bound. You know, and a lot of times people will say that knowledge is power. That's not true. Applied knowledge is power. Because how many of us read a book, went to a seminar, did something to improve ourselves, and then took little action? Okay, and that's very, very important when you look at it improving your business. Okay, there's 4 basic rules for survival in today's economy. Rule number 1 is to remember this. If you conduct your business like you've always conducted your business in the past, you may not be in business today. I am astounded when I meet with business owners and I say, well, why are you doing it that way? Well, we've always done it that way. You know, it's the story of the Christmas ham. You've probably heard the story, right? Everybody heard the story? Okay, you know, it's Christmas time. They're getting the Christmas ham ready for put in the oven, and the woman cuts off the end of the Christmas ham. And the husband says, why do you cut off the end of the Christmas ham? He says, I don't know, my mom always did it. Well, let's go ask Mom. So she's out there, and Mom, what do you do? He says, I don't know, Grandma always did it. So let's go ask Grandma. Grandma, why did you always cut off the end of the Christmas ham? She said, it was easy. Our pan was too small. So is that why we're doing what we always do? Is because our pan is too small? You've got to change the way you do business today. The second rule is you've got to be willing to work really, 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 really hard. There are people that are succeeding in today's economy, but they haven't given up. They're getting up before the competition, and they're going to bed after the competition's gone to sleep. Because they understand what it takes to survive in this economy. The third thing I think is really important, you've got to be passionate about what you do. You can't walk into a room and say, hi, I'm Carlos, I'm a business coach. Go, who wants to do business with this guy? Right? It's like the story of the skunk, the baby skunk, mama skunk, they're walking by a paper mill. If any of you have ever been around a paper mill, it stinks. It's nasty. There's stuff in the air that I don't even want to think about getting on my skin, but it's a nasty place. So they're walking by the paper mill, and the baby skunk says to the mama skunk, "Mama, what is that smell?" And she said, "I don't know, honey, but we got to get some." You've got to be passionate enough in your business to say, I want to be a part of this guy's business. I want to be excited like they are. I want to be excited like Laura is about my marketing and have a passion for what I do. And then the final one is simply repeat number 2, and that's simply work very, very hard. Okay, 10 simple rules. Number 1, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Okay? All right, if you wake up every morning and listen to the news, I'm not going to tell you what I think CNN stands for, but it's not positive. Okay? You're going to get so discouraged and so depressed, you're going to say, why do it? Why not just let's go back to bed? So don't drink the Kool-Aid. Be realistically optimistic. But the thing you have to do is you have to distinguish between what is and what if. Many of you know John Maxwell. He writes a lot of leadership books, and he says that basically in order for us to be clearly planning for the future, we have to be present in the present. So what's realistic? Where am I today? What's my current business situation? Be optimistic about your vision in your future, but be realistic about where you are, but don't drink the Kool-Aid. Lay a strategy based on what is and build your business from there. Right now, I think you'll find that the business opportunity out there is good for those people that are willing to work, because a lot of times what happens in this economy, people, they get in this hunker down mode. They give up. They quit trying. And research says that those people that hunker down in a down economy, it takes them 5 years to regain market share. So this is the time to go out there and steal market share.